Joined me here in the sunshine at Westminster, the UKIP MEP. Hello. Well, this must be a great day for you, isn't it? This is a big beginning, another key moment in this progress.
It's taken a long time. It's been 14 months since the referendum. They could have done this the week after, but at least they're doing it, so better late than never. And yeah, this is the beginning of the process whereby we actually start to leave. So this bill is overdue, but let's hope it gets voted through on Monday.
Well, you point to the vote on Monday. Those who are telling us here today that they're not minded to vote for the bill come Monday evening express very specific concerns, though, don't they? And they are concerned about, well, the Henry VIII clause, but essentially too much power and a government of the day having the ability to push things through without proper parliamentary scrutiny. Are there not genuine concerns around that?
The same people, of course, haven't been concerned for the last 40 years when we've given away vast amounts of legislative power to the EU. They were perfectly happy with that. And this isn't actually about changing any laws at the moment. This is only about putting it under a proper legal basis so that Parliament can begin the repeal and amendment process. So it's a lot of fuss about nothing. What it really is, of course, is part of the delaying and impeding tactics that the Remainers will employ to try and delay this long enough in the hope that they can eventually overturn it. So it's going to be trench warfare to actually get to the point where we leave the European Union. So this battle in that process has to be won on Monday.
But if you're someone who's part of one of the devolved assemblies, you're certainly not going to say it's a fuss about nothing. I mean, they've been making their views quite clear standing here today where you are. They have real concerns about what it means for devolution and the powers that they should have. I mean, there are people with genuine worries out there.
But that's for us to sort out in our national parliament. And they weren't very worried about having powers transferred to the Brussels so that they can be exercised over Scotland and Wales, Northern Ireland. So I don't know why they are going to be worried about powers being exercised by our own democratically elected parliament in Westminster, where those nations are represented. So I think they're worried about things they don't have to be worried about.
OK, so if it does go through come Monday evening, what's your take on what happens next, given that we're on this deadline of 2019? I suppose I'm saying, how do you feel, given everything we hear coming out of Brussels, how do you feel those negotiations are going?
Well, I'm the Brexit spokesman for UKIP, and if I was doing this, I wouldn't be doing it this way. You cannot negotiate your way out of the European Union because, I mean, I've been there at a committee meeting on Monday listening to them about how they're going to delay and impede this whole thing. What the government should do is to repeal the European Communities Act 1972 as a first step and then say we're no longer members of the EU under our law. All the legislation stays in place because it's all been transposed into UK law anyway, but now we're going to tell you how it's going to work, because as long as you ask them how it's going to work, they'll say it can't be done. So our government should take the initiative. Now, I realise the big problem is that there's a majority of people over there who don't want to leave anyway, but this is why we need a very strong Prime Minister and a cabinet, which unfortunately we don't have.
Gerard Batten MEP, thanks very much for being with us. Thank you.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.